Hello, my name is Eric Bielakiewicz. I don't normally do these kind of videos, but I figured it would be kind of an important year to highlight some of the filmmaking work that I've done, and just to kind of talk about sort of the things that I've got up to, and yeah, I'm going to do that over again. Hello, my name is Eric Bielakiewicz. I am a filmmaker based near the greater Boston area, and I don't normally do these kind of videos, but I figure it's a good thing to kind of look back and sort of just highlight some of the stuff that I've gotten up to, that I've worked on, and just kind of talk about my year, what I thought about it, and yeah, without further ado, let's kind of get into how my year started. The first part of my year was generally focused in New York City because as part of my coursework, I interned at a rental house in Brooklyn called Technological Cinevideo Services. And being in one of the busiest cities in the world and what I would consider the film hub of America right now was just such a treat. For people that really want to break into the industry, I really could not recommend working at a rental house enough. The stuff you learn there and the things that you see just and are exposed to while you're working there is just completely insane. So I started in January, and I did kind of smaller stuff like test BNC cables, bring carts from upstairs, help with like returns and whatnot. It was just kind of fascinating because I got exposed just to so much stuff. Another thing that I would recommend just in any job in the industry, regardless of if it's at a rental house or not, is just asking around, especially if you don't know much, asking around and just seeing what you could do to help and just putting yourself out there. I think that's the biggest thing, and I think there's ways of doing that without, bragging about the dorm room short film that you shot a while back. Most of the people there were very, very willing to show me just kind of how equipment worked and what it was used for and just where it goes and whatnot. But yeah, no, I really got to have a wonderful experience while I was working down there. One of the most difficult things about working at TCS for me, and just working at a rental house in New York, was leaving. I think personally it was just so difficult to leave just the environment of it, like being able to ask questions and be able to be exposed to something new every day was just something I cherished. But I'm hoping one day our paths cross again, whether I work there again or I go into prep. Another thing I wanted to highlight just in my time in New York is, even though I was busy working pretty much a full-time job at this rental house, I was rooming with two other people, two very good friends of mine, and we were putting together a feature. So another thing that I did while I was in New York, besides discover restaurants, was getting to film something in New York. Because I knew in between working and my other friends working that we were going to shoot something. So we actually did end up shooting a decent portion of a script that my friend Riley wrote, but we obviously didn't get to finish it because we just kind of ran out of time. And one of the things that was really exciting about it was getting to kind of film sort of run and gun scenarios and whatnot, and just getting the beautiful backdrop of New York in 4K was just such a visual treat. So I think that was just kind of really special. We didn't end up finishing it, but we still probably might turn it into something. I imagine all of us will be back in New York at some point. We'll either turn it into a proof of concept or we will finish it as a feature, and you guys will probably see it soon. So that's pretty exciting. So, in a weird way, as hard as it was to leave New York and to leave that rental house and to leave all those experiences and whatnot, it was kind of a blessing in disguise. As you know, as everyone does know, the writer's strike happened and the actor's strike happened, and it just absolutely shut down most of the productions that were going on. One of my goals when I got home was that I want to work at a rental house local to me in Boston, but none of the rental houses were hiring because everyone was just kind of it was like COVID again, you know? I kind of took it upon myself where I was like, okay, there's no work going on right now. And that's when I decided that I wanted to do a short month for as long as I wanted to, as much as I wanted to. I could get as ambitious or as reserved as I wanted to. So a bit after I graduated, I got together with my friend Sean, and we put together 13 O'Clock. One of the big things about filming 13 O'Clock that was challenging was just kind of underestimating things. I had to wear multiple hats, I had to direct, and I obviously had to shoot the thing too. But I also had to juggle audio. People walked the lake in my town, and I thought things would die down a lot sooner, but they didn't. Part of it was just kind of a waiting game, just kind of seeing when things would be cleared up and just going in and getting what we needed to do done. What's kind of unfortunate was we had to kind of cut a bit of stuff because we were trying to film it in one night. And some of the things you have to kind of do when you're filming just something on the fly is you have to take into respect just the time you have to film everything. Think about what is essential and important to get a concrete story. And I think that's a big lesson that I learned just filming 13 O'Clock, where you write the script you want, you shoot the script that you can, and you edit what you got. I think it turned out all right. I think I could have done some stuff a bit better. I think some things could have been fleshed out, but ultimately I'm pretty happy with it. And just for the directing experience alone, it was invaluable. So this next film, I really don't consider much of a film in comparison to 13 O'Clock and Rest Stop and those other films. But it was just kind of an impromptu thing that me and my friend Brog were kind of just getting together. We kind of just filmed sort of an impromptu thing. And it's not really a short film, you know, but it was just kind of a fun thing that we did. I wanted to kind of document it, you know. I feel like those moments that you have with your friends are just kind of invaluable, you know, especially with good friends. I know it may seem like I'm blowing smoke up my ass, but it's true, you know. I mean, it was just kind of a special sort of film for me, as is a lot of the other films that I'm going to talk about.
So when are you reconnecting with?
Tomorrow. I think this next film, out of the 5 films that I did, was probably the most important one to me to get right. Vignette of a Lonely Car. I had that idea for so long. I wrote that like way back in college, and I had just kind of the perfect idea of how to film it. So Vignette of a Lonely Car, out of the 5 films I shot during that whole strike period, was what I consider the most important film that I had done on a filmmaking level. I loved that idea of it, and I wanted to do it the best I could. For me, it highlights the kind of filmmaking I want to do. It highlights that kind of aha moment where you just kind of sit back and you're like, wow, I think this is something special. And it's definitely the film to date that I'm the happiest with in terms of its execution, its acting, and just the film in general. I'm the most proud of it out of all the films that I've done. I've had the least problems with it looking back on it, and it's just a film that is very special and very dear to me. That in hindsight, I wish I could have filmed with a larger crew, but you know, you do the best you can. That's all you really can do. The next film I did, I would consider probably a weaker film for me. It was just kind of another film that sort of just kind of came together in the editing room. In August of this year, I went to Provincetown with a good amount of my friends, and we were just kind of walking along a jetty in Provincetown. I wanted to film something while I was down there because, I mean, just look at pictures of P-Town, man. It's beautiful. It was just kind of special for me in that regard because I think it really captured sort of the natural beauty of P-Town and just sort of the wildlife that inhabits it. It was also kind of a special film for me in the sense of, like, it highlighted that sort of drive and desire that I have to make films, you know? I probably would not have made this film had we not gone to that jetty. And it was just kind of special for me in that way because I saw the film before me, and I was thinking about the edits as I was shooting. It was another film also that I really got to take a deeper dive into an area of filmmaking that I wasn't terribly familiar with, which is sound design. And it was just kind of an interesting experience for me. I couldn't use any audio that I recorded. I had to build it from the ground up, so to speak, just to kind of get the sort of sound design that I wanted, which was an interesting challenge, but a very rewarding one. I learned a lot more in post-production than I did in production, but regardless, it was just so rewarding for me. And now the final film that I shot this year was a very, very special film for me because it involved my cat, Timmy. You know, he's an older cat, and I've already spoken a lot about how much the film has meant to me, just to film. But it was interesting because I kind of got to return to my roots that I established in high school, where I had to kind of film a lot alone, and I really got to use the experiences and the knowledge that I learned in college and on my internship and just throughout my entire filmmaking journey, and I got to apply that into this film. And I don't think it's perfect. I think there was some stuff that I probably could have captured a lot better, but it meant the world to me. And I think another piece of important advice for anyone just looking to make a film is don't worry about making a film to please other people. Make the film that matters the most to you, that speaks the most to you. Make the films you want to make. I'm sure other people have said that, but I really want to emphasize that because I feel like it's important. What I kind of accomplished with that film was just capturing bond and the camaraderie and the friendship that I had with that cat. And I think, like I said in my description of that video, my author's note, I think I will look back years and years ahead, and despite all of the problems that it has, just kind of remembering my special little friend. And I think that's extremely important to me. Timmy? So some other things I got up to while I was home was over the summer, I got to shoot an experimental film, and I had never really done something like it before. That was pretty cool. I really valued that experience because it got me outside my comfort zone. I'm sure other people have done the stuff that we've done, but it felt kind of like magic, and I really, really valued that experience, and hopefully you guys will see that at some point. So I think the final filmmaking project that I did was filming a music video, and I hadn't done that in a few years. And it was just kind of a rewarding experience for me because it was just kind of an interesting sort of groove to get back into because, like I said, I hadn't filmed one in a while. And filming a music video is a lot different than filming a promo or a short. So it was very, very rewarding just kind of seeing it all come together. It was just a great, great experience, and I really couldn't trade it for the world.
Are you offering this love for rent, this love for rent? Give me confidence. I give you compliments, playing hard to get. Try to run from this, I'm so done with this. Don't let me love again. You moved on so I can.
So one final thing I want to touch upon before I show you my reel for the year is the amount of time coming back from New York, just taking the time to self-reflect, to meditate, to get back into reading. I think those things were healing to me. I did a lot of work mentally, just kind of taking some time to self-reflect and to figure out the people that I want in my life. And I wouldn't really trade that for the world. And I think despite leaving New York and how sad I was to leave New York, I think I'm definitely going to look back upon this year, faults and all, and really appreciate the work that I did mentally to just kind of get to where I'm at today. I think for certain, this was a very, very emotionally sort of difficult year. For everyone, it was just kind of difficult because of the dual strikes and the work shutdown and whatnot. And I think the experience of just being able to take some time to self-reflect and to heal old wounds and to reaffirm that the people in my life are the people I want in my life, I wouldn't trade that for the world. And I highly, highly encourage, just whenever there's free time or just downtime like this where it's the holidays, to just take the time and reflect and reaffirm that the people that are in your life deserve to be in your life. It's allowed me to heal in just so many different ways. So yeah, I guess that's it. So thank you once again for all the support you guys have given me. It's just insane to see just how much the channel has grown, how much you guys have supported me through my filmmaking journey, and just seeing it through, you know? We're all learning in our own way, and every flower blooms in its own time. So once again, thank you very much, and this is my reel for the year. Thank you very much, guys.